Hi everyone, in this video we are going to have a look at Copilot Actions. Now in order to get to Copilot Actions today you need to go to the browser and go to copilot.microsoft.com, which you can see up here in the taskbar. Now once we've gone to this site we need to head over to the left hand side and go to Labs. So Copilot Labs is all of the experimental AI initiatives that Microsoft are currently working on. So these aren't generally available, but they're available for most people to test out and try. So if you have a look over here, you can see some of the newer features like audio expressions, 3D portraits, which are some of the new faces that Microsoft are putting into Copilot. But if you scroll down here, you can see vision, which we had a look at in a previous video. You can check this one out over here. Or Copilot Actions. So we're going to have a go with this. Now, when we open Copilot Actions, it will give us some sample prompts. And you can see here, it's put in the action here that we're going to be using. So we can use this to do almost anything on the web, really. So we could use this to, as the example show here, book a package holiday. We could use it to fly flights, find some whether different items are in stock in a certain shop, or just generally do some research. So I'm actually going to have a look at finding some flights. So I'm going to ask Copilot to find me the cheapest flights for 2 adults and 2 children from London to, and where should we go? Let's go to, maybe we'll go to LA in the US. Let's have a look. So I'm going to ask it to find me this information. So let's see what it does. So it's running like a normal Copilot query right now. Now what you see here is its ability to start working. So what it's going to ask me to do is give it the ability to take control. So I'm going to allow it to take control. So with Copilot, you're always in control of what Copilot does. So it's asking me to give it control in order to do this. So I'm going to say take control, and this will now take control of my browser. So what we're going to see here is it's simply doing all of the work for me. So you can see here it's thinking about what it actually needs to do, which sounds quite a simple thing. I've already asked it to do that, but you can see here it's in a simulated browser experience. And we can see here it's now typing in the text. Now I've given it no other context other than find me flight, so I haven't told it when or my budget or any of those other things. But you can see it's now taking control of that browser experience for me. Now bear in mind these tools are still at the time of recording this video in preview, so I would expect these to evolve as we move forward. So you can see here it's actually selected a site to have a look at. It's going to use Skyscanner for this, which is one of the options that it showed on screen. Again, we keep getting prompted by these cookies, but it's going to run through and it is actually accepting these for me, but it's running this within a kind of context browser, so hopefully it won't actually restore these for me. We can see here it's actually modifying the website for me, so my hands are here, so I'm not touching the keyboard at all. This is purely Copilot Actions driving this website for me. Now I've told it I want 2 adults and 2 children, so let's see whether it actually manages to do that on here. So you can see here it's clicking the plus buttons for me. It's selecting, so it's like magic, isn't it? It's selecting 2 adults, it's selecting 2 children. Now It's going to ask me for ages, because whenever you book flights for children, it does ask you for the age of those children. So let's see what happens here. So you can see here now on the right hand side, it's obviously got stuck. So it has said, I need to understand the age of the children and what dates you want to travel. So that's really great, because I haven't told Copilot this. So I'm going to go back into the search here, and I'm going to tell it that my children are aged 8 and 10. We wish to travel when it is not too hot, but not too cold. So I think we want to go sometime between Easter and May half term for 1 week. So I'm not going to be specific here. I'm telling Copilot the age of my children. He needs to know that. But I've not been really specific about when I want to go. So let's see how Copilot handles this kind of interaction. So again, we can see here it understands the context of the web page that it's in. It knows the value it needs to set, and it's going to set those. Now, you could be thinking, well, yeah, this is a really bad example, Rob. Why don't I just do this myself? But this does give you some kind of example of just how powerful these tools are going to become. And when we think about this becoming more generally available and being able to work inside of any application within our Windows settings, then this does become a really powerful companion to work with me. Well, I am going to see whether this kind of breaks it or not. It's come up with some dates here. Let's see what it suggests. So it's having a looking at April and May, because that's what I've asked it to do. Now, is Copilot going to ask me what dates make sense? Is it going to suggest some dates that make sense? I'm not sure. Let's see what happens. The big question is it going to select 2026, or is it going to try and select dates earlier this year? I'd hope it was smart enough to do that. Let's see what happens. No, it's going to go back, which is interesting. Okay, so it's clearly reset the navigation. Okay. Again, I like the fact that we can see it thinking here. Now, I'm hoping it's going to realize that it can't go back too far to pick dates. And I'm hoping it's going to prompt me to correct that. So I can see here it's because, oh no, okay, so it's smart. It's pulled up now the flexible dates. It's picked April and May. Just see what it can find. So far, this is looking quite good. Does seem convinced that it needs to go back. Picking return flights, I think. So it does seem to be a little bit stuck here, doesn't it? Okay, I can see it is struggling to do that. So let's see if we can, okay, give it a hand. Can you suggest the best times to go based on these dates? So I'm going to ask it, when is the best time to go based on my dates? And I ask about the weather. So let's see if it can respond to that. Okay, so it is saying late May, late April. Okay, let's go for a Saturday in late April. What would you suggest? So I'm just being lazy here because I don't even want to have a look at the calendar to see what Saturdays there are in late April. So let's see if it can work that one out for me. There we go. So it has picked April. It's picking the 25th of April, which is, I'm guessing, the last Saturday in April. Not quite sure why it's now going back to March. So it does seem to be a little bit stuck here. Got a feeling it's got to rerun that search. Okay, so it's going to try one more time. I'm not sure why it's gone to the island site, but let's see if it does a bit better now. So it has picked up 4 passengers. Okay, so it has selected the departure date. I've told it I want to go from London. Again, still no hands, I promise. This is all Copilot. Okay, so it has now picked the departure airport, the arrival airport, the dates. And do you remember that Saturday that it selected? That was the 25th. Looks like it's going to pick the 26th. Oh no, 25th. There we go. 25th of April. Now I can't remember whether I told it how long I was going for, but it looks like it is doing a week. So okay, that's good. Let's see what it can find. Okay, so here we go. So it has found me some flights, which is nice. It's found direct flight and it's reading it to me as well, which is nice. So it's found direct flight from London to Los Angeles on 25th, returning on May. It's 555 euros. It's a best price based on time. So that looks quite good. I, of course, need 4 people. So you can see there it's showing me At the bottom, that is actually going to be 22,000 euros. That's great. Now, I would actually like it to be in pounds, not in euros, but for the purpose of this demo and my first time using it, I'm going to accept that. So these look good. Are there any hotels as well? So I've told it I like the flights. I would quite like it to book me a hotel as well. Now you can get the gist of what we're doing here. I'm not going to go all the way through to the booking. And of course, it will need to pass control back to me at the point it does that, because it doesn't have my credit card details. I actually wouldn't want Copilot to be able to book flights with me at the moment. Now, well aware that recent announcements from OpenAI with ChatGPT and shopping are going to enable some of these things. But for me right now, this is really just about understand the concept of how this works. So I'm purely typing into Copilot as I would normally, and Copilot is understanding the website that I'm using in this instance. It is taking control of that site by reading, understanding it. It knows where to click. It knows when I tell it I want a hotel, it knows where to go to within the option. It's given me some options for those dates as well. I'm going to ask it, are there any that are a bit cheaper? So again, I'll ask it if there's any that's a bit cheaper. So what it might do is scroll down. I'm not quite sure what it will do here, but I've asked it for a slightly cheaper hotel. I could have probably asked it for a star rating. So I could have asked it to pick a 3-star hotel or one with a certain rating. But let's have a look and see what it's doing. So again, it's going to scroll down and clearly find me some slightly cheaper rooms. Budget friendly. You must know me well, Copilot. Some of those look quite nice. There we go. It's found a cheaper hotel. So I quite like that. I like the Best Western. I like the Best Western. Now, at the moment, I can't talk to this Copilot. You might notice here that I'm having to type, but voice will be coming into this mode as well. So if you think about now, it works quite nicely because I'm speaking to you, my listeners, but imagine moving forward that I'm just be able to have a conversation with this. But I quite like the ability to do both. So I quite like that I'm typing this at the moment. So I like the Best Western. Again, this should be able to understand the concept of what I'm saying, and it should be able to read the screen. So I'm hoping now what it will do is select that hotel for me. So it's picked that hotel, it's found that hotel for me. I'm assuming it's going to accept the cookies again for me, which is nice. Now, I have noticed here that it has said that it's for 2 adults and 2 children. You also notice when I hover over the page, it gives me the option to take control. So I can interact or multi-point interfere with Copilot should I wish to take over. So that's actually quite a powerful feature because, like I said before, we're always in control of how we use Copilot. So I do want to update the availability here because I need to have 2 children, but I do only need 1 room. So I'll probably in reality just go ahead and book this because most hotels are charging you for the room rather than the individual people within that room. So again, it's now looking at room options for me. So you can see this goes all the way through, and it really is analysing it and giving me all of those different options to go through. And in fact, it's actually now gone through to the booking, which is great. And it's going to ask me to fill the information in. So again, it's going to ask me to give the information. So I could say, Rob Quickenden. I'll give it an email address. I'm not going to put my real one in, but I'll say robq@email.com, and I'll tell it my country is England. And again, let's see whether it can interpret that information and understand where to fill that into the page. So it's actually saying I can now do this by taking control. So I think Copilot now actually does want me to put this in. I'm going to see if I can tell it. It might not work. I do think it's going to ask me to take control in order to fill this in, which again, this is a booking page. So part of me would think it would do that, but no, it's not. I've given it the information. It's actually, I think, going to populate this for me. There we go. And because I've been quite specific and told it the field names, it's okay. So it's done that quite nicely. Now, I'm not sure whether it's remembered my email address. I might need to say to it email address and tell it. I might need to say country and region and tell it. But there we go. Pretty impressive. So I think I'm just about done now. Hopefully this has given you a good example of how Copilot Vision is today. This is in preview. It's in Copilot Labs today for you to go and try. It's going to evolve. I believe this will be going into general availability very shortly. We do have Microsoft Ignite at the end of November. So usually this is kind of when a lot of these features that are in preview go live. But we can see, it's navigating through this page. So there we are. This is Copilot Vision. This was a rough and ready live video, no pre-prep. Hope you found it useful. If you did, please like and subscribe. It really helps to share these videos with other people, and let me know how you get on. Let me know what you try within Copilot Vision and how it works out for you. Thanks very much for watching. Goodbye.